Chauncey Billups, Mr. Big Shot, is the new head coach for the Portland Trailblazers. Now, I know news broke already for a while now, but I wanted to sit on this, marinate, really get an understanding of this hire, and especially wait for the first introduction press conference which happened, and there was a lot of backlash, good and bad, that we're going to digest here. And I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts on Chauncey, what I think, and my expectations, my impressions of what's going to happen, what's going to look like moving forward. So welcome back to Fan First Sports. I hope you guys are having a great day. We'll jump right into it, and I'm excited to share with you guys my thoughts on it. Here we go. Before I go into my expectations for Chauncey and what I thought of the hire, I just want to touch on briefly my first impressions and then the introductory press conference that got a lot of backlash. So my first impressions of Chauncey was not too high or too low. I really didn't have an opinion just yet on the hire. Now, I wanted to let it settle a little bit. I wanted to let the things marinate and really figure out who Chauncey was. Now, I knew he was tough as nails, gritty, a well-respected player around the league, and I knew he was a no-nonsense guy. His presence, his leadership said a lot about him through his 17-year NBA career. Now, what I thought about the hire was, okay, this guy checks most of the boxes that were needed. He has a high ceiling, I think, through the leadership and coaching. I think he has an opportunity to really elevate the roster, and he signed a 5-year deal with Portland. Lastly, it keeps Dame happy. That should be number one for the organization at this moment, making sure he's happy and feels he can win a championship here. And Chauncey was one of the two names that Dame put out along with Jason Kidd, right? So definitely, I thought it was maybe the best hire out of the whole coaching candidate pool in the top 3 finalists with Mike D'Antoni, Becky Hammond. So that's what I initially thought, but I wanted to let it settle. The press conference happened where they introduced him. Now, I gotta say, this was met with a lot of bad backlash for a couple of reasons here. Now, I just want to first say there is no winning with the media, ever. Like, I was so blown away after all the countless videos I've watched, the different takes I've seen on this. There's no winning. No matter which way Portland would have went or handled this situation, there's always going to be something to peddle, something to spin, and it's really embarrassing. And also, what is really embarrassing is some of the questions that these media actually ask. I was laughing half the time, like, how do these guys have the credential to ask some of these questions? Just so nonsense to me. But besides the point, basically Neil and Chauncey opened up the press conference with addressing some of the allegations against Chauncey Billups that happened in 1997, his rookie year. He was accused of sexual assault and rape. Super, super serious. I mean, it took 3 years before it got settled in court. And I don't want to go too far into whether I think he should have got hired because of those things. I mean, the NBA is a very progressive league, and for something as serious as that, where there was a lot of evidence and there was a lot of investigations run, I don't want to go too far into what I think of that, but I will say Chauncey did have a 17-year NBA career. He then worked with ESPN, the LA Clippers, and now Portland, where they've done their own private investigation. So this is something that Chauncey's lived with his whole career. It's nothing new to him. He's answered the questions. He's been around, and for him, it's something he has to live with for the rest of his life. So they started off with addressing those allegations right off the bat. Then about 10 to 15 minutes were just different questions about the allegations. And so, and at one point, actually, Neil Lachey, it looked like he did they were asked a question about the allegation. It seemed like it was just getting too much. And so he quickly grabbed for the water bottle and signed over to one of the guys over there. And then they canceled the question. They said, hey, we're not going to keep talking about this. And so I thought that was kind of weird. It would have been better if Chauncey would have just, answered the questions. It's nothing new to him. Let the man answer the questions and show his leadership and show the kind of man he is. I think he can answer those questions as he has his whole career. And so that got a lot of backlash too, just rejecting the questions. But overall, after some of those questions were asked, they got into a couple basketball things, and that's where I really started to like what I saw, and I have high expectations for what Chauncey can provide. So let's just touch on those briefly really quick. Okay, so finally when it got into some of the basketball stuff here, that's when I really started to like this hire. Now, I'll just say it right now, I am so dang excited to see what Chauncey can do with this roster coming up. I think there's gonna be a lot of good things to happen, and I think it's gonna happen a lot sooner than some people might think. Now, Chauncey is gonna come into this Blazer team with the respect already there. I think Chauncey comes in and he doesn't have to earn that. He doesn't have to earn the respect. It's on Chauncey to lose it at this point. Like, he's gonna come in and the players are gonna be right away engaged, ready to go. This Blazer roster, I feel, knows they have the potential to win a championship. They have that swagger. And I think when this guy comes in with his presence and his commitment to some of the things they've been lacking, I think the Blazers and that culture that has been built is going to take that on and embrace it and feel these are the things we need to get us over the hump. And I think that's going to lead to immediate success with Portland. Chauncey shows me a lot of the same mannerisms as Dame. As a player and as a coach, you could tell right away he wasn't there for the show. He wasn't trying to show the right answers. He wasn't trying to say the right thing. But he's someone that's ready to go to work. I can see him day one already in the gym, trying to get the guys together, build camaraderie, build that everyone all in mentality, and everyone plays a huge part. He's someone that's just ready to work, and I love that about him, and that's why I think he has some of those same mannerisms as Dame. They just want to win. They want to bring a championship here, and he expressed that so many times. I thought some of the things he said about how the Blazers play was really important. First of all, better ball movement, and not just ball movement, but player movement. Not having to get Dame and CJ into these bailout shots where we know they can make it, but that's not sustainable winning basketball. I thought that was really important. I mean, Blazers have a top 5 offense, and for Chauncey to say that he can elevate that, he sees holes to where they can become better, is really exciting. And along with that offense, he talked highly of Nurk, how he thinks Nurk can improve his scoring and facilitating. I see a big and fun year for Nurk. Now, I don't think he enjoyed playing for Terry Stotts at all. There was constant times where he looked out of place. He was trotting around, just head not in the game, right? I think with Chauncey, he's going to totally reinvigorate Nurk and make him have fun with basketball again. And I think we're going to see a rise in his numbers. And it's going to be really exciting to see it. That's why I hope they hang on to him. There's no need to try and trade Nurk, because what you're going to get back for him, you're going to have to give up a lot more to get something in return. And I feel like the potential with Nurk is so high. You know, think about Bosnian Beast time, Nurk Fever. That was amazing basketball, and I think he can get back to that under Chauncey. So that was really cool to see. Other than that, he did talk about the defense, and he talked about how it starts with competing. Over strategy, over schemes, he's going to bring a culture to where they compete. And I'm so excited for that. He also touched on where Chauncey, was kind of more of an offensive guy. He's going to bring in someone that has experience on the defensive side for his coaching staff. And I thought that's great. As a first-time head coach, bring the right coaches with you. And to bring in someone that is experienced and knowledgeable on the defense is going to help so much, because we know Chauncey can bring the grit, the leadership, be out there and kind of get everyone all in just through his presence alone. But to have someone that actually knows, right, actually can get them in the right positions and has that defensive experience is going to be really powerful. And so I think as a Blazer fan, if you heard the things he talked about as far as what they're going to do basketball wise, I think there's a lot to be really excited for with this hire, and we just got to wait and see. Let's not get too high or too low right now. The media is going to talk their talk. They're going to do all the things they want to do. But until it comes time where we can see some of the fruit of what Chauncey puts in, I think we're going to be really surprised to see how fast it works. I think we're going to see a hot start for Portland. The only other thing now is Neil O'Shea. What's he going to do with the roster? But I think it was the right hire. I'm really excited for Mr. Big Shot to come to Portland. It wasn't the greatest first introduction. Hey, welcome to Portland. But hey, he's used to that. And I think when he gets into work with Dame, whoever it is, if it's CJ still there, Nurk, I think he's going to really change this culture for the better. And I'm so excited to see how that works. So, Mr. Big Shot, welcome. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think Chauncey was the right guy? Who would you have liked to see? Would you rather have seen Mike D'Antoni, Becky Hammond? What are some of the things you think Chauncey needs to improve on? Just anything like that. Just all your insight is fun. I love reading it. I love getting back to you guys. And other than that, take care.